Hey everyone, how's it going? A new top-of-the-line cube has recently been released, the GAN 356 Air SM. With relatively positive reviews, everyone knows it's a solid cube to get. But the question is, how does it compare to its predecessor, the GAN 356 Air at UM? First off, both cubes are 56mm as the name suggests, and both are around 80 grams, which is relatively light for a 3x3. So now let's talk about the price. You can get the UM from the Cubicle at $47.37 in accordance to Felix Zendig's world record. The Cubicle edition celebrates the collaboration between GAN and Cubicle Labs to create this cube. Along with the cube, it comes with the purple GES nuts pre-installed along with 6 other nuts, a special tensioning tool, a GAN box, and a special pamphlet designed by the Cubicle. There is no Cubicle Pro Shop UM version. Now the GAN's 356 Air SM factory version at $49.99 comes with a full set of 7 GES V2 spring components, a GAN CFOP tutorial pamphlet, plastic adjusting tool, and an SM VIP card. This cube has the new standard sticker shade with a darker blue that some people don't like as much, but the other colors aren't very different. The Cubicle Pro Shop SM comes with the same things, but the cube is already fully set up for you. Lubical Silk is on the core and a mix of Cheskis 30K, Lubical Speedy, and DNM 37 are on the pieces. There's also an option to have your preferred GES nuts installed for an extra $3. The default spring is the blue GES nuts. The Pro Shop SM also gives you the option for your custom color scheme and also to have full fitted stickers, which is what I got. Take note that the Pro Shop version does cost $59.99, which is $10 more expensive than the factory version SM. So now taking a close look at the pieces, you can see that the UM and the SM have very similar pieces. One of the biggest changes on the SM is the honeycomb pattern on the corner pieces. This is supposed to help the smoothness of the puzzle, and overall this works pretty well. Also, inside the pieces there are slotted tracks for the magnets to make sure that the magnets don't move around. So let's talk about the performance. They both are very good cubes, and they are one of the best used in the market right now. You're not going to experience a completely different feeling on the SM compared to the UM. Also, you're not going to experience any pops, locking, or corner twisting on either of them. Moreover, because of the magnets, both cubes have amazing ability and smoothness. They're very quick and effortless cubes, and I would say it would fit a lighting turning style. With the GS system, it does have a wider range of turning styles than many other cubes. Also, the many different GS nuts can give you many options to fit your turning styles. Personally, I prefer the yellow nuts on both the UM and the SM. The GES nuts in the middle of the scale, green, yellow, and clear, are by far the most popular, with the red and purple springs being released. For my Cubicle Edition UM, I did a lot of setting up the cube before I felt comfortable with it. I put 2 drops of DNM 37, Lubical Silk, and Lubical 1 in pieces, Cheskis 30K, and Lubical Black in the core. I also set the tensions at half turn tighter. Even after I finished setting this cube up, I was never really happy with it. For me, the UM just wasn't smooth enough, and I always felt some resistance in the core whenever I turned. Adding DNM 37 helped, but I would always end up gumming the cube up with too much of it. Now, the Pro Shop SM was a completely different story. As soon as I took the cube out of the box, it was perfectly set up. The resistance I had felt in the UM was completely non-existent, and layers glided along consistently with hardly any effort. The feeling of the cube is what makes the SM quite different from the UM. While both have the smooth, buttery feel when you turn them, the UM has a crispier feel with relatively harsher and clackier turning. If you listen to both, you can really hear the differences. The magnets seem to be the same between the cubes at first, but after a couple weeks of solving, I seem to notice that the SM's magnets are just ever so slightly weaker. I don't know if this is actually the case or just some placebo effect because of the smooth turning, but sometimes when I spin PLL or do a complicated OLL, the layers that I don't want to move sometimes turn and mess up the algorithm. The 7s are once or twice in the solve, and that is basically one of the only complaints about this cube. So, all things not considered, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend the SM over the UM if it weren't for the price. With the UM at around $47 and the SM at $40, or the Pro Shop version at $60, this is a lot of money to spend again if you already have the UM. With this aspect in mind, I wouldn't advise buying the SM if you already have a UM. There's just not enough things that are different in these two cubes. Now, if you don't have a GAN cube and you're choosing between these two, I would definitely get the SM. With everything that is coming with the package, and the GS springs for the soft and smooth performance of the cube, it is definitely worth spending an extra $2 or $12. But yeah, that's about it for this week's video. If you want to learn more about any of these cubes, the link will be down in the description. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video, and see you next week.